now's the time when things are shifting. There's gonna be a new world order out there. And we've got to lead it.
True internet suffered depression.
You are fake news.
I am not suicidal.
We'll circle back with you directly. If I can circle back, I'll circle back with you.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Hello and welcome to episode 343 of the Jeffrey and Brian Show. I'm Jeffrey.
And I'm Brian.
And we're two guys drinking some beer, talking what's going on. Brian, 343, it's not the magic number, but there are 2 3s in it. Unfortunately, Brian, do we have to retire the magic number, or are we going to carry it on?
I think the show's gonna continue on in some form, so why not keep the magic number going?
All right. Well, inform everyone out there who doesn't know what we're talking about. You know, the 4 people that might listen to this show.
Yeah, it's from the No Agenda show. That they've been on they've got thousands of episodes. They've been doing it since the beginning of podcasting, basically.
Yeah, wasn't Adam Curry, isn't he the Podfather? Like, everyone refers to him as the first guy to actually do this.
Not well. Some people are claiming that it's somebody else, but
to do it successfully, how's that?
Yeah, he's the one that came up with the concept of the RSS feed, and having it actually come straight to your computer from a server.
For anyone else out there who has no idea who Adam Curry is, what was he most famous for?
Headbangers Ball.
MTV, baby, back in the day. Yes.
I grew up watching him on MTV.
Really?
Uh-huh.
When you say grew up, what you mean by grew up, you mean like late teens, early 20s?
Yep.
Okay, because I was like, Headbangers Ball was still on when I was around. And I remember that teased out crazy mullet with the long hair.
Yeah.
That was him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, his podcasting co-host for how many years now has perished.
He was 80 years old. He just recently had a double bypass surgery a couple of months ago. He was
sorry to be terrible about this, but why? It looks like it says they had an autopsy. Why would you have an autopsy if the man just had a double bypass at 80? It's almost certainly a heart issue, right?
Yeah.
It just seems like a giant waste of time and of resources, time and money. You know what I mean? Unless they found something unusual, I suppose. Did they have some reason to think that it wasn't his heart not handling it?
Well, I mean, he had like a clean bill of health, from after the bypass. So
for an 80-year-old, and it was only 2 months later. I get they got the protocols. I understand that. And for the most part, they know a lot better than I do. Some of them are pretty dumb, but for the most part, they know better than me.
Yeah.
It just you hear 80-year-old man dies after double bypass a couple of months ago. It's like, yeah. So you think the No Agenda show is going to continue? Are they?
Yeah, it's going to continue in some form.
Is he going to replace?
They had a 5-hour show on.
Oh my God!
Cause in like 2.5 hours was it well wishing, and it was also my birthday donation was put in on that too. So I was actually the only birthday on the whole episode after 5 hours. And they had my Michigan address on there, and then his wife was the one that got to read my name, and she couldn't pronounce Ticoncha. Adam got on there. He's like, I think that's Ticoncha, because he's.
I would have said Ticoncha, but that's an outsider. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like you and I would call it Kissimmee down in Florida, but apparently the locals call it Kissimmee.
Yeah.
And I was like, it doesn't. Okay, that looks like the way a 3rd grader would pronounce it. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right. I did just have the repeat offender come in. He's still miking up and getting ready. Oh, there he is. Oh shit! Looks like he's enjoying a nice warm day down under.
Middle of winter, mate. Beautiful winter's day here in Australia.
If that's winter, summer must suck.
Hell's ball, mate.
Like we get 100 degrees Fahrenheit up here in the mountains of West Virginia. I can't but we also get like 20 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. And remember, Fahrenheit freezing's
Winter, mate, I
32,
just put
not
it on.
0. Why is this?
Yeah,
Why,
that's
is it just because the signal's
Nah,
bouncing
mate,
through
it's beautiful,
satellites?
No.
Oh, could
I'm
be,
just
mate.
wondering
I'm
why
just
you're
in
always
a bad
delayed.
spot. I'm at work today, but
Well, we
mate,
just
got a fair way to travel.
yeah, we just got started. We brought up how John C. Dvorak has died at 80 years old. Most people wouldn't know the name, honestly. What, he was mostly in like
Tech.
mechanical engineering and weird stuff, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did that. He's had a
Like
very
an air
storied
traffic
career.
controller.
He did that for a while too.
Yeah.
He was, and then he did tech TV on CNET for a while, and he famously came out in the early '80s saying, "Why in the hell would anybody ever want a mouse?"
Like for your computer?
Yeah,
He was the one he was the guy who was
yes,
like, why would
yeah,
anyone want
yeah,
this?
yep. And
Well,
he never lived that little claim to fame down at all. So
I got a trackball myself, and they're getting tougher and tougher to find because no one uses a trackball anymore.
Amazon, man, Amazon.
You can get anything on Amazon. Fuck, you can get anything at Walmart. Dude, I got a fucking excavator, a mini excavator that picks up 1.5 tons from Walmart. But I can also get my underpants there
I've got to tell you a
and
funny
my
story about Walmart.
groceries.
We were over when we went over there a couple of years. I'm walking Walmart and that, and I'm going to their trolleys. I didn't realise the lock on it. So
Yeah.
a certain distance away, it looks up on you, and I didn't realise, mate. Next minute, I'm doing some colour. I'm going pretty quick. Next minute, bang, mate, almost going arse over tit over it. It was like,
That was one thing I saw from a lot of these Europeans that came over from the World Cup. They walked into Walmart and like, what the fuck is this?
Wait until they go to Buc-ee's.
Yeah. Then they went to places like Buc-ee's and Bass
Andy
Pro
Lobster,
Shop.
mate.
Like, that's like a 10,000-gallon fish tank. There's a fucking shark in there bigger than me, and it's in
Yeah.
the store.
Uh-huh.
And every year,
I've gotta tell you,
every year, some idiot jumps in the fish tank, right?
Yep.
Popeye's chicken, mate. I love Popeye's chicken.
Popeyes is a good one. There's a lot of good fried chicken here in the States, so let's be real.
Oh, yeah.
This apparently the Scottish invented it. It was like some Asian dude who was like second generation Scottish invented it in Scotland, and the rest of the world was like, "This is amazing."
He caught on pretty quick, didn't it?
Oh yeah, man! Like you probably got KFCs in Australia, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, mate.
Yeah. See, oh man, actually, it's probably only a 6 to 7. I say only 6 or 7 hour drive, but I could probably get to the first KFC over in Kentucky if I really cared to. That might be fun, huh?
Well, it's pretty popular out here, KFC, like McDonald's. McDonald's is just about on their corner.
Yeah, I know, and you know what? It's because you know what? It used to be super affordable, but now going and getting fast food costs almost as much as going and getting freaking baby back ribs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now that I think of it, I was talking to the wife about going out to the Kentucky Derby. Maybe that's the time to find the first KFC, huh?
Yep.
All right. We were talking about Europe there for a minute. Shocked by Walmart and such. Did you see how many people freaking died in France because of the heat wave?
Well, they don't have air conditioning.
Yeah, but why not though?
None of Europe do.
Yeah, but why?
Climate change.
It doesn't get hot enough over there.
Well, you say that, but 5,764 excess deaths occurred in France during the June-July heat wave period. No, it's like if the regulations say you can't use this, you can't use that, or makes it way too expensive, that might make sense. But can't your average homeowner buy a window unit and install one?
No, they're not. They can't buy them over there.
It's not common at all, no.
Why don't they use geothermal to cool everything down then?
That's
Because if you dig a hole in France, you end up in the catacombs. My mistake.
So yeah, like in England, they were bloody going on about 31 degrees. There was a heat. They'll call it a heat wave. 31 degrees is what we'll probably get to today in Australia in winter.
If I had a
Celsius.
pencil and paper, I would do the math out. I could probably Google it if I cared. I was like, I would do the math and figure out 5/9 F minus 32 equals C. But I was like, I keep forgetting you can just punch it into your phone and it spits the conversion out for you. It's like I learned all these useful equations in my life, and I can just ask the fucking computer now. Yeah, and I have no idea what 30 degrees translates into. When they say that's probably 80 degrees Fahrenheit if people complaining about it.
Oh, about 70 something degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? That's nothing.
That's in winter.
Yeah, but that's what they're complaining about in England.
86 degrees Fahrenheit.
86 degrees. Okay, that's enough to complain about, but you don't start bitching about the heat until it's at least 90 degrees Fahrenheit. You know what I mean? Then you're like, especially, and then only if it's humid.
Yeah.
Like Arizona, you can handle 90 degrees, no problem. But you do it in like Florida in a swamp, and the problem is you sweat, and your sweat can't evaporate, and it just sits on you. So you get gross, and you stay hot.
Yeah.
I have no idea how much of Australia's desert. From what I understand, a lot of it is.
Mate, yeah, up in our northern parts of Australia, like in winter, they hardly ever get below 30 degrees in winter.
Well, temperature doesn't necessarily mean desert. Desert means less than an inch of precipitation a year, because the Arctic is considered a desert because it gets less than an inch of snow a year.
Yeah, and it hardly ever rains there.
Well, yeah, but it's precipitation, snow counts. But it doesn't even snow because it's too cold to snow. It literally just it never gets into the air to fall back down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the way, I saw some shit of these white women identifying as Aborigine recently, and I laughed my ass off, and I almost sent it to you. No, they had like the hoop nose thing and the paint and everything, and they're like in front of a council saying how they need to be recognized. I was like, oh my God, try that here.
It sounds like they're going for a couple of grants.
Oh, yeah, a whole bunch of white women. I was like, oh my God.
They try to get handouts from them, mate.
That's exactly what they wanted, benefits, because they could find somewhere in their lineage they had Aboriginal blood. And I was like, that's like saying being a United States citizen and having no native blood. It happens, but you almost certainly can have some somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Elizabeth Warren, the odds of her being Neanderthal than the average American is Native American blew my mind.
Well, you see this breaking news from the Indigenous News Alliance.
Yeah, I did. I read it, and I'm not sure exactly. I don't remember exactly what it said. They're worried about
global warming.
Yeah, exactly.
It's affecting the indigenous people more than it affects normal people.
Do they know what the word indigenous means?
Well, hundreds of them they gathered in Geneva at the UN gathering to fight for their rights.
The rights to what? I mean, indigenous people. If you went and lived in fucking Alaska like a fucking Inuit, you'd be just as affected by this shit. It's the fact that you chose a place and you stayed there. And oh my God, example, the Aborigines, they live in the fucking dry, hot desert, okay? And there's nothing to eat. Go somewhere else. But no, you're not allowed to interfere with the native folks because you'll fuck up their way of life. And it's like, I don't know, maybe one of these kids might like to get an education and not live in the fucking desert in his underpants his entire life, you know?
Maybe.
Oh my God, it just drives me nuts seeing stuff like this, dude. And yeah, they want their rights. Their rights to what? What are we going to do to make this better for them?
Right.
And this is right after like every major scientist on the planet was like, oh yeah, we were actually wrong with this climate change thing, considering we said it was supposed to end like 7 years ago to the entire world. Come on. So the appeals court stepped in concerning Trump's mail-in voting thing. What was it again? You states that don't comply with the checking their voter rolls don't get mail-in ballots or something like that.
Let me see here.
Because that led to a whole big issue with what just happened in New Jersey too.
Basically, it's saying that um you can block how many they're gonna allow, definitely restrict mail-in ballots for a while. So they want to create stricter regulations for mail-in ballots, basically.
Oh, like back what the laws actually are and have
Yeah,
always
where
been.
you
Basically,
you don't have to wait 30 days after the election to get your mail-in ballots in.
yeah, and you can't do it from your house. The idea of a mail-in ballot is that you're like overseas for some reason or incapacitated, right?
Yeah.
Like for the most
Yeah.
part, most of your mail-in ballots in the United States were active duty military.
Yeah.
And diplomats overseas. They still got a say in the vote. But and that's the big issue, man. It's like, oh, who can walk 2.5 blocks to stand in line? Well, how long of a line have you ever waited in, Brian? Honestly, to vote? Even in
Like
Virginia,
2
it wasn't more
hours.
than even in Virginia, I never waited more than a couple minutes.
Obama.
So maybe you just need to show up to the ballot box earlier then. I try to do it when it opens up, and that's how I know I'm not going to get a whole bunch of Democrats because none of them are up and about at 7 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, I've never had to wait in line. Like when I lived in Massachusetts, I walked to the voting booth, which was at the high school. I'm sorry, the elementary school, which is less than a mile from where I lived.
Mm-hmm.
Walked in. Just check this out. I walked in, I told them my name and my home address, and they said, here's a ballot, go vote. And I was like, how do you know I'm not lying to you? I'm not doing the neighbor's name. She's like, well, are you? I was like, well, if I was, I wouldn't tell you. You know?
Yeah. We wouldn't bring it up, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what if I come back in 2 hours and you don't recognize and shave and you don't recognize me and I go vote for my neighbor who I know doesn't live here anymore, but I know he's still on the voter registration. And she's like, oh, no one would do that. I was like, maybe I will just to prove it happens. Of course I didn't because that's illegal. And the woman who got her dog to vote in California got in trouble, didn't she? She did it to prove that her dog could cast a ballot. And then she saw criminal penalties for having her dog cast a ballot. And I was like, I understand she broke the law, but she made a pretty good point, everyone, and no one gave a shit,
Right.
All right. Okay, so does Taylor Farms, that's the explosive diarrhea lettuce. Do they have a lawsuit against the FDA for putting out a false positive claim that it was their lettuce?
Because it killed their business. So
especially because these are the same guys that were attached to the E. coli outbreak at McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
Jeez, another one. No one's buying shit from you ever again. I can't imagine the payout for saying you completely destroyed our business.
Right.
But I would just like to say that every news channel used the term explosive diarrhea.
Yep.
ABC, NBC, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, friggin' One America News, Blaze News, all of them, right? These are companies that can't agree on what a woman is. These are organizations that can't agree with who won the 2016 election. But they all agree that this is explosive diarrhea. It just really threw me for a loop. Brian missed a funny joke, too. And I'm not sure how much Ron can hear us. Sometimes I think he's frozen up. Sometimes I'm not sure. He might just be deep in thought.
Yeah, no, sorry, mate. No, I was frozen up.
Yeah, that's too bad. Yeah, Brian, I was just pointing out how all these different news networks that can't agree on what a woman is or who won the presidency in 2016 all agree that it was explosive diarrhea.
Right,
Like,
right.
I never thought that was what was going to bring us together as a people. Like, nope, that's explosive.
And that's probably
Well,
why Trump prefers McDonald's.
yeah.
That
I've
and
never heard
yeah.
anyone. I've never heard of anyone with slow diarrhea, boys.
Well,
Um,
okay, you're talking about just natural pressure. Now imagine putting a fucking cherry bomb on the other end of that thing and blowing it out. That's explosive diarrhea. All right.
You watch. I'll have us wearing masks next.
I mean, let's be real. We all knew that with Taco Bell anyway. But okay, so Shane Gillis, who got fired from SNL a while ago because of his racy comments, and no one likes him. And how many news networks came out to talk shit about this guy? How everyone hates him after the Kevin Hart roast.
right.
Just set the world record for most attendees and tickets sold at a comedy event.
Yeah. And they were saying his stuff he was saying at the Kevin Hart roast was racist, but those are all writers. That's all scripted material.
Uh-oh. Is Brian breaking up or am I? Oh, uh-oh.
I've got good internet. I'm in Newport News, Virginia. I'm on Cox internet now, so
Yeah, I got a good signal too. You just had to glitch up on me.
Hmm.
But yeah, he sold 76,212 tickets to a single comedy event.
Good for him.
It was just fascinating watching how quickly the narrative of how evil all of this stuff is dissipated after USAID disappeared.
Right.
You know, it's like all these voices that were getting paid to tell you how evil it is, they're not getting paid anymore. So people check it out and like, oh, this guy's funny. You know.
Yeah.
All right. I don't even know what I just did. That was crazy. You heard this experimental explosion they think that happened off the coast of Florida?
Shock testing on a new ship.
That's one theory they have out there because the Navy has done this before, and we find out after the fact. Basically, the belief is because obviously the Navy's not going to tell us, but the theory is that the Navy was setting off explosives at surface level at different distances from their ships
Right.
to see how well the ship held up to the explosions.
Right.
And I was like, I respect that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it showed up on Richter scales across Florida.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they're like, that's not a normal earthquake. Something weird. Like, this is different. And they're like, oh, we've seen this before. Way back when the Navy had done this, we found out it was the Navy. And it turns out one of the new carrier groups or something was out there recently, right? Like when this happened.
Yeah.
That sounds exactly what happened. Okay, Brian, how long have I been talking about undoing the 17th Amendment on this show? How the Senate should return to the states and not the voter.
For a while.
As
long as I've known you.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say probably at least 20 years. How the average citizen shouldn't get to vote for Senate. The state should pick two, and that's supposed to represent the state and not the constituency.
Right.
The interest of like West Virginia as opposed to the majority of the voters. And a Republican put this bill forward to repeal. Not even a bill. Maybe they're calling it a bill. Yeah, they're calling it a bill, but you can't just repeal the 17th Amendment.
No, it's gotta go through the whole process.
Yeah, exactly what you need 2/3 states votes.
Mm-hmm.
And now here's the question: is how does each state have to vote the same way? I can't remember the most recent constitutional amendment to go through. Do they all have to vote the same way or not? Like, do the states get to say individually what they want to do, or do they take a vote
I think so.
from the people?
Uh-huh.
So some of them might be having a vote from the people, some might not. Basically, the way voting works, they can do what they want to do. But yeah, I think it should go back to the states. They've been saying this for the longest time. Now, these nut jobs on the DSA are saying they want to abolish the Senate. And I was like, if you actually read the fucking Constitution, it's like the only thing you cannot abolish in the United States federal government.
Right.
Like, you'd have to completely throw out the entire Constitution, which might be what they want. But you can't just abolish the Senate and the presidency. You could abolish the presidency, but you cannot abolish the Senate. Oh, yeah, that's have fun spelling that one, Brian.
What?
That is not how you spell diarrhea.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know that's a tough word to spell.
uh,
A judge has put a temporary pause on Paramount Warner Brothers merger. I don't know if I like the argument for trying to stop it from happening.
well, it's gonna be a problem because one of the agencies came out and said, well, if you just separate CNN out of the merger, it'll be okay for the merger to go through.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw something new come up, but I didn't open the article. I was busy doing something. I think I was cutting the grass for 5 hours. My pocket vibrated, and I saw the news flash up or whatever. But uh, I understand this monopoly theory because once you get in control of something, it's almost impossible for anyone else to get involved. This is why. This is how I've made a shit ton of money off of Verizon over the years. You know what I mean? I buy a bunch of Verizon stock. I wait for them to buy everything up. As soon as they buy up, I'll buy like one or two companies. I sell most of it, watch them get split apart by the government, and then I go buy Verizon stock again, and not T-Mobile, not Bell Atlantic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what's left right now? What options do you have at this point? You have basically Verizon or T-Mobile, unless you want to go like Frog Wireless or something weird.
I got AT&T.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So there you go. That's two major competitors, and just wait for Verizon to decide. Maybe they're not gonna this time. Maybe they've learned their lesson. There's what 3 times I think the federal government has stepped in and split them into like 7 different companies. Yeah, but
Yeah.
again, there's not many competitors to Verizon, and it's been a while. I've been a T-Mobile member for over 10 years now.
Well, I
Customer.
was with Sprint for 30 years, and then T-Mobile bought them up, and it didn't take me long to leave T-Mobile after that.
See, I was with T-Mobile back when they did like your fave fives, and they were always free to call. Back when like you paid per call.
Mm.
Even outside, even during peak hours. And that's why I went with them. And actually, I could still do that. No, we did something so we couldn't do it anymore. For a long time, I could after they stopped that program. But I've been with them for so long that if I contest anything, like I don't think that's right, they look at my record and go, yeah, okay, nope, you're right. They don't even bother arguing with me. Because let's be real, you could just join an introductory plan with the other company for however many months it's required, right?
Mm.
Get a lower rate, cancel that, and go with another company again. And these days, you can even keep your phone number when you do it.
Yep.
All right, what's going on in Michigan?
Well, it's emerging. Surprise, surprise, is a key
Yeah,
hub
I'm a little
for defense
surprised.
tech startups and military innovation. I mean, there is high tech companies in Michigan, so
The problem is Detroit's already set up for industrial production.
yeah, I don't think this is happening in Detroit. I think it's elsewhere in the state.
No, the only reason why I brought up Detroit was because the not this headline, but the one that was in the initial link said something about like a Detroit financer explains how the taxes in New York are going to lead to a boom in Michigan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's another article. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was my mistake. I thought it was this one. So they're saying that Michigan's going to be doing new technologies, or doing like robotics or
Well,
some
they're
weird or
also
AI.
seeing that, yeah, they're going to be incorporating AI tools, and they've got an innovation hub located in Macomb County. I don't know exactly where that county is in Michigan, but that's okay. There's a lot of places in Michigan.
Man, you've been out of it for a while, and let's be real, man. Until I left Massachusetts, even in Virginia, counties meant nothing to me. Like, who gives a shit what county you're in? It means fucking nothing. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I came to West Virginia, and it makes all the difference in the world because half the people here don't live in a city or a town. They're in unincorporated parts of the county, and going across the county line is where the laws change, and it's crazy. You know what I mean?
Right.
But All right. And maybe this AI emergence that's happening in Michigan, maybe perhaps this story is trying to justify all these data plants that are being put into Michigan. How much money it's going to bring
Well,
into the
well,
government and
well,
how
yeah.
much
I mean, the government may be making money off of it, but the populations are starting to get fed up with all these data centers popping up everywhere, and it doesn't seems like by the time the people know about it, there's already too many wheels in motion to stop it. So there's a lot of shitty behind the scenes stuff going on with these data centers.
primary see, that's the thing is people don't vote local government. They don't even realize it's happening. By the time they show up, it's already done. Like you said, the wheels are already in motion. Uh, People need to be involved in local government. It's going to affect you more than federal government.
Yep,
Everyone's
I
looking at the
think I'm gonna run
presidency.
for township government.
There you go. And then you can immediately put out to your people, hey, they want to put a data center in. Let's get on this before they fucking file the paperwork. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But you're probably gonna look at the numbers and go, fuck, we're gonna bring in $2 extra billion a year. We could drop all property taxes for the lowest next 5% lowest incomes. You know what I mean?
yeah. This next article is the one about the Detroit developer
Okay.
that is talking about, substantial taxes is
See,
the
I told you I
biggest
read these
reason.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, I know. And that's why he's proposing a 982 acre, uh, they call it Bell Island, into a special economic zone. It's got 50,000 residents in it, and they want to make that like a tax haven where, you know,
Try to invite the billionaires from New York City into Michigan to do
yeah,
their business in Michigan because they're gonna save a ton of money.
right. Because right now, the article says socialists are on the march, and Zoran Madami in New York is the best example of that. They're winning races, and their answer is always the same: more taxes and more free stuff.
And Seattle and
Yep.
Los Angeles. And here's the thing, Brian, is we've been ringing this bell for years now, and the
Yep.
Democrats are just now noticing. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I was like, okay, I understand you don't listen to my show. I was like, but I put this shit out on old people Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The ones that call me Nazis still. I'm like, no one calls anyone a Nazi anymore. That's old.
Right.
Now I see them posting the same shit. I'm like, I've been telling you this the whole time, and you called me terrible names. Like, oh, I fuck you. I would have seen it. I'm like, dude, you had a 20-minute, 20-page argument with me over this shit like 2 years ago.
Right.
Like, they're like the same people that said Mom Donnie. I actually went back and found one dude's post how Mom Donnie was going to save the world, and I shared it back to him. And he's like, well, I mean, it's not the same. I'm like, what do you mean it's not the same? It was you.
That's fake news.
Like, so you posted bullshit just so you could bitch about it later.
Right.
I just And that's the thing too, though, is you driving all those like Mamdani in New York with his Pierre de Terre tax. They're taxing people who have a secondary home, like not the primary residence in New York City, that's worth more than $5 million.
Right. That's probably most of the homes.
Well, in parts of New York City, no problem, especially with your very, very wealthy people who come through a couple times a year to sign papers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, he's like, well, they're not real members of the community. It's like, yes, but they were paying taxes and
Yep.
not using any of the services you were providing.
Exactly.
Like they were literally just passive income, and you
Mm-hmm.
chased them out. And like, well, why'd they leave? It's like, because you told them to get the fuck out. You actually said goodbye and waved and laughed. Not even kidding, Mom Donnie did that, and they did it in Seattle too, right?
Yep.
Brian. Right, and you guys got more explosive diarrhea cases out there in Michigan,
I
apparently.
know. I can't wait to get back to Michigan next week to get my explosive diarrhea. 6,000 cases just last week.
My God. Found it is in West Virginia. So that's fun. I had a salad for dinner today, so it's like fucking Russian roulette. You know what I mean? Who knows? I had salad 45 minutes before we started this show. It might be a race against the devil to get upstairs in time.
Yep.
So we just had a state of emergency in all 22 counties out here in West Virginia. Uh, and it's freaking crazy, dude. Buchanan, it's less than an hour from me,
Uh-huh.
completely flooded out. There were videos of like ATVs floating past people's houses, sheds floating down the road.
Wow.
Some person came on the next day and was like, someone's trailer, like their home, their
Right.
trailer is in my front yard on its side. I don't know what to do about this. It's
Meanwhile,
like,
in Virginia, we've got a drought going on right now.
oh, the storm. Oh man, this crazy thunder. And it didn't even hit us. Where I live. I made sure to point out that I was like, this is what's great about being on a mountain top. They don't flood and rocks don't roll down onto you like they do at the houses at the bottom of the mountain. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I don't know if people realize this, but falling rocks is a big deal in the mountains.
Oh yeah.
Like 5 ton boulders where they got heavy equipment pulling it out the road, and you're bombing down the road like 50 miles an hour because it's a 50-mile-an-hour road. Come around the corner, and there's a 5 ton boulder sitting in the road. Uh, oh, and some Republican delegate here, in the state government, not even like county, has been seducing this young girl, definitely underage. His name is Pritt, and the issue is if he's basically refusing to resign his position,
Hmm.
and if he doesn't, that's going to cause a major issue at this next election, apparently.
Right.
So the rest of the government, the rest of the Republican Party and the Democrats are all getting together to eject this guy and force that district to vote again and see if they want to put him back in office or not.
Okay.
But yeah, he's like in jail awaiting trial.
Huh.
Yeah, and he didn't just seduce her. This was an ongoing thing with the don't tell your parents kind of thing.
Oh wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. So holy shit. Oh, okay. Massachusetts for a second. Squad member Ayanna Ali, is that her name?
Yeah.
Ayanna Presley, I'm sorry. Presley. There was a dead body found in her husband's house. No one knows anything about it really. It looks like it might have been a squatter or something because this was a house he bought recently.
Okay.
Apparently this guy's got, first of all, this guy's a felon. Just want to point this out. This man has a felony on his record. And Massachusetts, with the help of Representative Presley here, managed to rewrite Massachusetts law. So, because they need a new courthouse, right?
Right.
Massachusetts law has been, we can't do leases over 10 years. 10 years, it just costs too much in the long run, or it has to be at least so much or whatever. So Massachusetts finally just said, we're going to build our own courthouses. That's what we're going to do. And it's been like that for like 30 years, more than 30 years. They went and changed the law so that the same man, this felon, could build the courthouse and lease it to the state, but the Commonwealth. But here's what the fun part is: he doesn't have to pay pay to build the courthouse. Massachusetts is still going to pay to do it.
Stupidity.
They're handing him a wad of cash to then turn around and say, bill us for it,
Yeah.
And I'm like, how come the people of Massachusetts aren't pissed off about this? Answer is probably because they don't know.
Right.
And that's the thing I've noticed is you bring this stuff up and you show it to them like, well, that's not real. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, this she herself said this is what they're doing. And why does a federal congresswoman have so much fucking pull within the state?
Right. Exactly.
All right. What's going on with COVID? Basically, God bless Rand Paul for not dropping it. But basically a bunch of stuff came out from Slack chat or something with the people who directly involved in it, who basically
Yeah.
admitted that yes, they had been making, not even basically said, this is exactly what we were making in the lab. We were told to make exactly this, and it was at the Wuhan lab.
Right.
And you know what? We can't get Fauci for it. He's already been pardoned, hasn't he?
I think the statute of limitations ran out on his pardon. I don't know.
Can we on his pardon? I mean, maybe they can get him with perjuring himself to Congress.
That's probably the most likely thing.
You think anything's going to happen?
No. Nope.
No, exactly. Oh, it's just frustrating as hell. We knew something was weird about this. We were the crazy assholes. How many vaccines did you get, Brian?
1 million.
Did you really?
I was in the Navy for 20 years. I got tons.
No COVID vaccines.
Oh, I got none.
No, neither
Screw
did
that.
I. No, you're right. I have had vaccines. I trust vaccines.
But the COVID shot's not a vaccine.
No, it wasn't. And that was the big thing with people pointing out. It literally rewrites the way your body works. Basically eugenics, which I'm pretty sure the entire fucking world except for China is made illegal, right? Okay, I saw this. I got pissed off. I'm gonna go release. Oh, Jesus Christ! I have no
How do
idea
you
what-
even ride a bike naked? And
very
aren't there-
carefully.
Yeah, that. But in this picture, the people they're showing riding naked aren't even naked. They just got their shirts off. So, I mean, how naked are they really naked? They're can they wear little or no clothing? This bike ride began in 2004 in Canada as a protest against oil dependency. I don't know what the two have to do together, but now it's since expanded into dozens of U.S. cities and 20 countries. I wonder if they're doing this in the Middle East, riding naked through the streets. And of course, the riders are scheduled to meet at 4 p.m. at a bar called Handlebar. It's a bicycle-themed bar. And there's going to be costume parties, a large after party with live entertainment.
Okay, so it's a bar. It's not people
No,
actually riding naked through the
there's a
streets.
map on here where they're riding through the streets of
That's what I
St.
thought.
Louis with little
Yeah,
or no
this-
clothing on.
This isn't new either. They've been doing this
No,
for years. haven't they?
it's since 2004. It started in Canada as a protest against oil dependency.
So
I
you
don't
got
know.
naked?
Yeah, I don't know what the I don't know what.
Well, are they upset that they had to use oil to make their clothes?
I guess.
Jeez, it's gonna get fucking cold in Canada if you weren't gonna wear
Meanwhile, they're
clothes.
riding on a bicycle with rubber tires and,
Mhm. and oil and grease on the chain, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
These folks don't get it, do they?
No, they don't.
Oh my God. They really don't get it. And I mean, at least people that say fossil fuels, at least they understand there's a difference between oil and like gasoline.
Yeah.
Because like, let's be real, everything alive for the most part makes oil, right?
Yep.
I mean, where do you think pimples come from? It's the oil can't get through your skin because of
Yeah.
like an obstruction, you know?
Uh-huh.
Oh, and, oh, Brian, speaking of, I popped that blister on my foot yesterday.
Nice.
No, not nice. It was a big, disgusting blister.
You should have saved it for Dr. Pill Popper.
Dr. Pill Popper, what are you
Yeah,
talking
it's
about?
on. She's got a show on TLC where she.
No, this was a burn blister. I was trying not to pop it. Yeah, I was trying my best not to pop that sucker. It was I was casting aluminum because there's no redemption here. We don't get a
You're a
nickel
good
like
sort
in
too, that Dr.
Michigan.
Pill
It's 10 cents. It's 10
That's what I
cents.
said. Oh, sorry, you get a dime in Michigan. I'm sorry. Massachusetts, everyone else gets a nickel. Oh, hold
Yeah.
on. Hawaii, Iowa, Massachusetts, Maine, New York, Vermont.
Oh,
Michigan
nickel.
and Oregon do a dime.
Okay. And Michigan's also got the highest number of recycling their soda cans and bottles and beer cans.
Yeah.
You don't
Well, we
find a
don't.
lot of those on the side of the road in Michigan thrown out of the cars and stuff.
You did in Massachusetts for the same reason, because even if you did, there was some bum coming around picking them up for the nickels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't have that, and we don't have a even recycling pickup, like trash pickup, but recycling.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna melt them down into bars. It cooks out that plastic liner, gets rid of all the air. Wait until I have like, I don't know, half ton, 3/4, maybe a full ton of aluminum. Load the bed of the truck, drive it the hour and a half out to scrap and sell it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the insulation on the top of my furnace, my kiln, fell apart, and I tried 3 or 4 things to fix it, and then tried something else, and that didn't work. I'm gonna have to replace the insulation altogether, which good, I'm gonna. So for like 2 hours, I just had this thick, like quarter-inch thick plate of steel on top of it to keep the heat inside.
Uh,
And every now and then it would start to glow red hot. So I would drop it in a 5-gallon bucket of water,
yeah.
and it boiled over and landed on my foot at God knows what temperature. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say no more than 212 because it would have been steam. It didn't have time to change phases.
Right.
Either way, it was at least boiling hot water. You know what I mean? Oh, and it hurt. It was so bad I didn't even realize how bad I was hurt at the time. I kept working for like 4 hours, and I took off my
Okay.
shoes like, holy shit!
Right.
Ronnie, this thing it was as big as my thumb on the top of my foot. Oh, it was disgusting. I sent it to you, didn't I, Brian?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I thought I did. I will send it to you then.
All right.
I did send you that picture of that fucking bear in my backyard, though,
Yep.
didn't
Yep.
I?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Me, that's a big critter just walking around my yard. Yeah, and I was playing my phone game when I find out this bear is in my backyard at the same time, right? So I just go grab my shotgun, and I mentioned it to my friends to show them the picture. I'm like, oh, don't shoot it. Well, I don't intend to. I'm like, yeah, but if you leave it, I was like, yes, if it leaves me alone, I'm gonna leave it alone. But I'm not gonna fucking fist fight this thing if it decides it's not gonna be cool, you know?
Right. Uh-huh.
I was like, no, I got a 12 gauge full of double aught buck. And realistically, I probably could have fired off one round into the forest and it would have taken off, but why? You know, I didn't need to bother the animal. It wasn't bothering me. It
Uh-huh.
was just as long as it didn't get into my trash or try to hurt my pets or my family, I was cool with it. Oh my God, I'm still upset about this naked bike thing, but apparently they've been doing it for 24 years or something, 22
Yeah.
years.
It started in Canada. I'm sure they do it in Australia too.
Yep.
Yeah, we've
lot of
talked about
things
this
done
more than
naked
once.
on
I
bike.
know we have.
I don't know how comfortable it'd be to ride a bike naked, and I feel like something might get hurt.
That's why I said very carefully.
There's parts that are not meant to be exposed on bikes, guys.
Exactly.
So I don't even like wearing boxer shorts on a bike because things slap back and forth. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna wear at least boxer briefs, maybe even whitey tighties to go out on my bicycle. You know? Well, have you seen the bike shorts these guys wear? Like,
Yeah, they got extra padding in them.
and everything's all up tight, so they're not going
Yeah,
whack, 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 as
yeah.
your legs go up and down in the sitting position.
No chafing.
Oh man. But yeah, and not just your nuts getting flapped around and your dong swinging in the breeze. Dear God. Are
No,
they freaking? No, are they like
I hope
waxing
they
their
put. I hope
buttholes,
they
or are they
put some
pulling off?
sunscreen on there. You know.
Oh, that sounds like a bad burn, doesn't it? You know too that when that happens, that's when like the supermodels show. Sydney Sweeney's like, "Hey, let me suck your dick." You're like, God no. Yeah. Sorry, back in the day, we used to know who the hot girls were. They were the supermodels. There's no such thing these days. You know what I mean? It used
Yeah.
to be like Cindy Crawford, Kathy Ireland, Denise Richards. Shoot, even Hanoi Jane was on that list, wasn't she?
Yep.
And now it's like, I don't know. And again, it's because stuff's not so centralized. But Okay, for Brian,
Yeah.
I thought last month was Pride Month.
Well, apparently in San Francisco, it's Pride year.
It's Pride weekend. So hold on. An entire fucking month wasn't enough for you. You need an
No.
extra weekend.
They couldn't get it scheduled. They couldn't get the block party scheduled into the Pride month.
Our military who died in foreign conflict only get one day. Okay?
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
These folks get a month and then in San Francisco, they get 2 extra weeks. Apparently, they didn't get their permits this year for their ridiculous
Festivities.
swing your dick around block party where they're drinking in public. And the cops showed up to like, hey, guys, you guys don't have permits. You can't just shut down the road.
Right.
And 20 people got arrested and 18 charges were brought.
Good. But I bet nothing happens to these people.
No, because they're going to say that they were persecuted for their pride beliefs. Because I bet you none of those charges are being nude in public.
No.
Yeah. Nothing's going to bring you a felony.
Well, why do I go to why do I get in trouble if I jerk up on the subway, right? But these guys can fucking do it in a parade.
That's a very good question.
Oh, I think Brian looked up the word diarrhea and got the definite spelling.
Chat GBT, man. Chat GBT.
Oh, and I'm disappointed. But I gotta say, did you guys see that Meatloaf was running for U.S. Senate out of Maine?
I don't think it's Meatloaf.
Well, Meatloaf's been dead for several years now.
Yeah.
But Ashley Webb looks exactly like Meatloaf.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of her. They talked about her on the Clay and Buck show.
Not just pictures. This article here actually has why you. Oh my god, that's just hideous. Why you qualified? And one of the things this individual said was, "Because I'm not going to deceive the people. Like all the deceit we're getting." I was like, "You're a dude.
You're deceiving the people right now."
Is that Meatloaf?
Oh my god. We got to get you a better signal somehow. We need to get you a satellite phone or something.
He needs Starlink.
Oh,
that's exactly what you need is Starlink, dude.
I'm just at work. The internet here isn't the best at work.
Yeah, but that's why you need Starlink, dude. That's fucking satellite shit. That's what Brian uses out of Michigan. All right, so I got some audio of the debate that these folks did running for Senate. Let's give it a listen.
You got it?
Oh, of course, I got it muted. Hold up. I got it muted because I'm a dummy. I muted it to get through the commercials. Forgot to unmute it. Now, oh my god, this must be Fox. Yep, I was like, this must be Fox News because as soon as you pause the thing, it gets smaller.
Right.
Gender, an intersex individual, was really attracting a lot of attention for the answers given. Listen.
Oh, I ran for office several times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then
that's her qualification for running for Senate.
I ran for office and lost.
They called it pork bellying. By cutting out the pork bellying from all the bills, I'm sure that would save a lot of money as well.
Phil,
I know she likes pork bellies, but come on.
Everyone on this panel? Dan, no?
Yeah. I mean,
it's incredible. Just checking. Just checking. That's 8 for 8 with the candidates tonight.
That's amazing.
I'm actually on Medicare. And I suppose the biggest thing is, like, I'm
Go
just
figure.
an angry citizen now. And if I got elected, I'd be an angry senator.
Who doesn't want to?
So I was genuinely hoping this person would win the nomination and win the election because I don't know if you heard most of what Ashley Webb had to say besides the goofy highlight. But no, for real, came across sounding like a right-wing conservative for the most part.
Okay.
Like talking about immigration and don't let biological men compete in women's sports. And I'm intersex and I'm saying that. And I was like, holy shit. Probably why she non-binary. This person doesn't even claim to be trans. I'm not sure what pronouns I'm supposed to use, Brian.
All right. I've given up. I don't know.
That's why I'm just gonna use fucking their proper name. I'm gonna refer to them in the first person forever. Then I'll never be wrong with pronouns because I'll never use a pronoun.
Exactly.
Son of Meatloaf.
He looked just like Meatloaf. I swear to God, that was. And it's funny is I didn't even think of it, but Bearing, my Australian podcast guy I listened to, was like Meatloaf's running for Senate, and I was like, oh my fucking God. Ron, have you checked out Bearing?
Sorry, mate.
Have you checked out Bearing on YouTube?
I can't hear that.
I can't hear me.
Baron.
Bearing, like a ball bearing. Like a ball bearing.
Bearing.
Yeah, but just Bearing. Yeah, his thumbnail is
Yep.
like a cartoon bear. I think you'll enjoy his work. It's
Okay.
funny.
Do
He's
you want me to have a
got
look
his
at it?
wife with him a lot of time. She goes by Sugar Tits. I think you'll enjoy his work. It's hilarious because he's very much follows American politics and comments on it.
Have you
has
found
made
a
a
Tea
bunch.
Party for them?
Oh, I'd love to see this actual dude, but he's probably some freaking like 400-pound. I don't, whatever. It doesn't even matter. But the guy's funny. He really is. He's got that Australian. He has that Australian. I don't give a fuck attitude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Turn up when you like.
Calling people cunts.
Oh, check him out.
But someone named Troy Jackson ended up getting the nomination to replace Plattner instead of Lindsey Webb. I have no idea who this guy is. Troy Jackson, whatever. I don't know if he's a nut job.
I think that just makes it easier for Susan Collins to win re-election.
Well, fuck Susan Collins. No, for real. She was one of the ones that won't vote on the SAVE Act.
Yeah. But are you going to really get a conservative elected in Maine? A conservative Republican elected in Maine? No.
No. You'll be pushing it uphill, Blades.
Would your brother vote for her? For a conservative?
My brother's in Vermont, and he won't vote for anything right of Bernie Sanders.
Maine's not much further away from Vermont.
I mean, he literally voted for Bernie Sanders for Senate.
There you go.
No.
He probably went campaign for him too.
Well, he also thinks that social welfare and socialism are the same thing.
Okay. Well,
yeah. And you know the difference, don't you?
Yeah, big difference.
Oh, it's democratic socialism. I was like, yeah, you voted in, then you have to shoot your way out. Yeah, oh my God. You know you can vote your way into monarchy too, right? But once you do, you don't get to vote anymore. You know?
You're all done.
What the fuck is this? The Associated Press. I remember reading this, and this is about them complaining about USAID cuts. And apparently we were paying for transgender surgery of Nepalese people, folks from Nepal.
Yeah.
We were helping transition.
Isn't Nepal a Muslim country?
Nah.
No, I was thinking more Hindu or
Hindu. Okay.
Or something.
So they're
like
okay.
That.
They're okay.
Non-Abrahamic.
They're okay with trans people in Nepal.
Perhaps Hindu
that,
has all sorts of weird stuff with their gods and their sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
shit, they wrote the book, didn't they?
Yeah, literally.
The karma.
It's karma. It's Kama Sutra. Oh, look at this. All the free shit in New York has led to $2.6 billion in New York City welfare payments alone. Nice. That's a 30-year high. That's up 71%.
How many businesses have moved out of New York now because of this stuff?
Not a ton of businesses yet. for the most part,
pretty high
the
percentage,
actual
wouldn't they?
individuals are getting themselves out, and they'll probably bring their businesses with them once the business is not making money anymore. If it's still making money, they're still going to leave it there to operate. You know what I mean? But they
Yeah.
might go and set up another business somewhere else to make more money, and they're obviously spend more time worrying about the one that's making more money. You know what I mean? But like, even if I'm only, let's just say I'm worth $100 million. If I'm making $500,000 on a business a year, net,
Right.
I'm gonna let it keep going because it still brought in $500,000 if I don't have to be directly involved. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
once it
It's
hits
only
that
getting worse.
point where it's no longer profitable, that's when you you close your doors or burn it to the fucking ground, like what happened in the 70s in the Bronx with the landlords.
It's only getting worse, mate. All he's doing is bloody robbing from Peter to pay Paul. He's just moving money from here over to there. And imagine what's going to be like in 2 years' time.
He shut down government pensions, like New York City pensions to city employees to pay for his buses and everything else.
Yep.
And it's like, what? What?
Yeah.
Yep.
As I said, robbing Peter to pay Paul, mate. He's moving from there to there. And it's only going to get worse the next 2 years.
All right, and now he's demanding more money from New York State. He's demanding money from the federal government. It's like, you said you had a self-sustained utopia that you could operate and run. I don't know.
Wait until the government shops come in.
Plus, you see, he's asking for a 20% pay raise. He's been in office, what, 2 months?
He shouldn't need a pay raise. I mean, Trump doesn't take his pay. Madani's so rich, he shouldn't take one either.
And that's something I don't think a lot of these folks realize is Mamdani is not just wealthy himself, but he was born of wealthy parents. That's where his money came from. Like, oh, well, we need to tax the rich. It's like, that's the fucking guy you voted for. If he genuinely believed this shit, he would have cut a check to the fucking treasury. Because believe it or not, you can actually write a check to the IRS or even your state treasury, and they will take it and say thank you. Well, why should I pay more than everyone else? What the fuck?
Exactly.
Be the change you want to see in the world, motherfucker. Gandhi up, okay? Oh my God! And then he swore to God he was going to fucking
I loved how he
arrest
said
Benjamin.
Netanyahu was going to get bloody arrested in New York.
Yeah, he said he's going to arrest Netanyahu.
Well, you know, somebody from the Trump administration got involved in that. You know, it's like, hey, go ahead, try that and see what happens to you because you'll be breaking the law. And why doesn't he make a big deal about
Logan Act?
all the Iranian people that come to the UN General Assembly, you know, all the time? They're worse than Netanyahu.
This is something New York City does every year for 30 years now. They bring like the world's war criminals in together to not be prosecuted so they can at least give their side of the story. Stupid. And he's like, okay, look, I mean, that sounds fair, I suppose, right?
Right.
But yeah, Jesus Christ. They're calling what Israel is doing a genocide. And don't get me wrong, I think Israel is a little loose on the trigger finger. I think they should be a little more precise with their attacks because they're using mostly American technology and they could hit what they want to hit. And they are hitting what they want to hit. But, Brian, Ron, did you realize that more Americans were killed on the October 7th attack in Israel than have died in this conflict with Iran?
Yes. Because they were at the music festival.
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, there's too many. We're losing too many American lives. Like, meanwhile, you're saying don't fight back when a bunch of Americans got slaughtered for fucking being at a concert.
Yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the lives are lost by the American soldiers and that. Bases that weren't anywhere near Iran.
Yeah, like Kuwait.
Weren't they stationed others? Yeah.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia too. Saudi Arabia's getting real pissed off. They're trying not to get involved because they're like the Americans will take care of it, but Saudi Arabia keeps getting hit. And they just had one of their cargo tankers hit, didn't they? The oil tankers by drones.
Wasn't the Houthis got them?
Yes.
Yeah, it was the Houthis got.
If Saudi Arabia gets involved, they will not keep the dogs on a leash.
Mate, it's not, yeah, imagine, mate. Well, this is the thing. Once Saudi Arabia gets involved, you're going to have everyone else involved, mate. You have Kuwait, you have
Egypt.
all these other countries around there that's got hit by Iran, Egypt. Yep, they've got a pact.
Yep.
They've got a Middle Eastern pact too.
And that's the thing is people don't understand where Egypt stands in the world. For some reason, they just see Egypt, oh, Islamic. It's like, yes, they are. They are very Islamic and they are very, very conservative
But
Muslims.
don't they aren't they a secular government though?
I
Yeah.
believe so, but I'm not sure. I believe it's not against the rules to worship a different god than theirs.
I mean, I know it's predominantly Muslim, but I think that it's not like
it's not theocratic.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But that's like saying the United States doesn't have an official religion, but historically it's been a Christian nation. But that's because it was made up of Christians. You know what I mean?
Right. Quakers mainly.
Quakers, even Mennonites. You know what I mean?
Quakers and Mennonites are like kissing
Almost
cousins.
identical. Yeah. That's what gets me too, is we hear all these folks like the founding fathers would be so upset if they came and saw what was happening today with these voting things. And I was like, you're right. If they woke up today, they'd turn like, what the fuck? You letting Catholics vote? You know what I mean? That would piss them off enough, let alone you just walk across the border and you get a vote. You don't own land. You're not paying tax. You shouldn't vote.
Right.
I don't care if you're a citizen. You don't own land. You have no skin in the game. Here you go, Brian.
Yeah,
Here's a way to fix the voting issue.
Okay.
You get to vote, but that puts you in a lottery. Every time a new vote comes around, no matter state, county, federal, the lottery happens, and the winner of the lottery is publicly executed.
Okay.
So sure, you can vote.
That sounds like
But
Hunger Games type of thing.
It was an old episode of The Sliders way back in the day, when you were allowed to, you could go to the ATM and take out as much cash as you wanted, but each dollar you took out put another raffle ticket in for execution.
Okay.
So there was infinite money, but the more money you just took out, we're gonna kill someone today, and who's it gonna be? You know? It was funny because he was pulling money out of the ATM, like, holy crap. And they're like, oh, you're so brave. Thank you so much for taking up all the risk for all the rest of us. They're like, what?
Oh, I do remember that episode now. Yeah, the sliders. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
like,
I was a
sliders.
fan. I was a fan. Yeah.
Yeah, because what? They bounce through, they had like basically a portal gun, run through different dimensions, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what inspired this idea. You get a raffle ticket, and whoever wins the raffle gets executed. This might reduce people who are just passively angry from voting. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right. But yeah, anyway, Mamdani has backed off of his wanting to turn Netanyahu into the ICC, because apparently a whole bunch of people told him, like, you can't do that. You're gonna end up in prison like Peter Navarro, right?
Yep.
What it was Peter Navarro, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For a Logan Act violation. And that's the same thing we brought up recently when he tried to set up a freaking like meeting with like the Cuban ambassador at a UN conference. Like, no, you can't do that. I don't know why these guys think they have the authority.
Yeah, they knocked that on there pretty quick.
What authority does?
Because he's the mayor of New York. He has all kinds of authority.
Yeah, but that gives him the authority to freaking make arrests for the International Criminal Court that the United States doesn't even recognize.
He wants us to recognize it.
Okay, so can I just go arrest Netanyahu? I'm sorry. Can I just go arrest Mamdani and turn him over to the fucking Ku Klux Klan for a trial?
Sure.
The federal government recognized it just the same. You know what I mean? Yeah, I saw videos recently about a bunch of people comparing him to Jesus. I'm like, he's Muslim, right? He doesn't think Jesus is God. Actually, he thinks the fact that you say Jesus is God means that you're a blasphemer.
Right.
Because Jesus was a prophet. It's just fascinating to watch these people, and they're like crying because they're so inspired. I'm like, yeah, just like Bernie Sanders, like, oh, so what? People are lining up for food? That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. No, it's not. Begging the government for your daily ration is not a good thing. All right, Brian, this one here got me because how many times have I said recently that I don't think most of this terrorism is real? Because if they actually wanted to harm people, there's way better ways than a freaking semi-automatic rifle or a
Yeah.
gasoline bag.
Uh-huh.
This illegal alien from India was busted with $3 million in tungsten powder.
Okay.
This doesn't mean much to most people, and I use tungsten to weld. But when I grind tungsten to a sharp tip to do my TIG welding with, I wear a respirator, and not just a dust mask, a full-on respirator, and eye protection that's sealed. Tungsten is radioactive to the point where it's actually an issue. Not like bananas are radioactive, but like it's actually like,
Okay.
don't be breathing in the powder. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Okay.
$3 million. I'm sorry. Yeah, $3 million in tungsten powder. I can't imagine how many pounds of this was. But if you went up onto like a New York State City high rise and just dumped it off the side, how much of that crap would people be breathing in and being irradiated from the inside out?
All of them.
Yeah. Million people are going to end up getting horrible cancer, lung cancer, eye cancer, throat cancer.
Yep.
In the next couple of years. This is exactly the kind of shit I was talking about, where if you actually want to hurt people, there's way better ways than shooting into a fucking crowd. And I'm not saying don't do that. I just, these people are either dumb, they can't plan ahead, or they're fucking lackeys.
Right.
This woman had a plan, and it seems like she knew what she was doing. I don't know what she was going to do with tungsten powder, but what would you do with tungsten powder?
I don't know.
What's that? I mean, I can think of a lot of stuff.
Poison.
A lot of different. Yeah, exactly. You could poison a lot of people. Even moving that shit around is going to make a bunch of it airborne. Tungsten, and like I said, I didn't just wear a respirator.
Terrorism
and
isn't
goggles
about
on, but the machine I use to grind tungsten has a vacuum in it that pulls the particles inside of it to protect you from it too.
Okay.
By the way, hardest naturally occurring substance on this planet besides diamonds. Say again?
Yeah, it's pretty. Well, I said mass terrorism. That's not about murder. Terrorism about it in fear to gain an advantage.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's exactly what it is. It's terrorism because you want to instill a fear in people that this could happen to them too.
Yeah.
And even if it takes how long, like we're still hearing about the fallout of the people that were involved in 9/11 to save lives with the horrible disease they're dealing with.
Yep.
And what was that? That was 25 years ago. This is the 25th anniversary.
It is the 25th anniversary. Yes.
Whoa.
Yep.
I'm old as dirt.
Graduated college who weren't alive when this happened. Whoa.
It's chat, mate. Now they got me and Dan as mayor.
I bet there'll be big celebrations with Madani as mayor.
Yeah, but I got a feeling it's gonna be the celebrations Hassan Piker will do because he actually said we deserved 9/11.
Yep.
Yeah, see, even the repeat offender over here knows who Hassan Piker is. Brian refuses to listen to the other side.
I don't do YouTube. I don't.
He's on Spotify. He's on every major thing you want. You can get him on iHeartRadio if you want. He goes on freaking CNN.
I can't do iHeartRadio because I can't do 5 million commercials on iHeartRadio. There's more commercials than there is actual content on iHeartRadio.
I'm just saying that he's been on MSNBC. He's been on CNN. He's even been on Fox News. I don't know how you don't recognize the guy's name at least, besides me bringing him up last week, but it's all right. It's all right. This was the other Michigan one that I moved down to immigration because we had enough Michigan stuff. The guy's name was Ruby Garcia.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Ruby Garcia was the one that was killed.
Convicted killer. He's suing the Trump administration for $75 million and
Brandon
citizenship.
Ortiz Vitae.
He wants citizenship from Trump.
Yeah, he wants $75 million, a public apology, and citizenship because Trump used him as an example of the issues with illegal immigration in his campaign.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get any of those things.
No.
Yeah. Why is he still in the country to sue us?
Because he's in prison. He's serving his time.
I understand that, but why bother? Why are we wasting our money incarcerating this man instead of just saying, go back to wherever the fuck you're from? Go home. Criminy. Yeah, he's not getting citizenship. Fuck you.
Probably nothing, mate. Isn't it illegal to get kids from crimes and that?
What's
you
that?
can't make money from it.
Well, this wouldn't be him making money off of the crime. It would be him making money off the defamation after the fact. But you're right. You can't make videos of you committing a crime and get paid for it.
Right. Well, you can't.
But this isn't
stuff like that.
Yeah, this isn't him making money off of the crime itself. It's after the aftermath. That's like suing the state for beating you next to death for stealing a candy bar.
Right.
You're allowed to do that. You know what I mean? But this guy's a piece of garbage.
Yep.
Who knows though? What's going on in Michigan? Like it keeps seeming like Michigan wants to pull their heads out of their asses and become successful again.
Well,
but then,
I'm going to vote here, and I can go vote starting tomorrow. Early voting, primaries. I got to vote for my Republican senatorial and governor candidates.
Gubernatorial.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's funny because I get to vote for state and county, but like there's no town halls, there's no city council. What's county? I don't know enough of what's going on county-wise to even start figuring that out. Because let's be real, the big difference from county to county for the most part is how much money's put into education or who picks up the trash. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
For the most part. Meanwhile, like Massachusetts, well, I say Massachusetts, but Massachusetts is an example. Some counties, they'll allow you to have all sorts of like firearms and stuff, but it's still against Massachusetts law. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like, yeah. So if the sheriff's deputy comes and gets you instead of the town police, which I don't think there's any incorporated land in Massachusetts. Like I think I saw a Plymouth County. The only time I ever saw Plymouth County police or deputies was prisoner transport to and from the prison in Plymouth. That was basically all they did. They weren't making. If I call the cops, the sheriff is showing up. There's no one else to show up. Or state police might show up too if they think they can get there quicker or nearly as quick. But yeah, like Webster Springs isn't going to show up because I'm not part of Webster Springs. They do send fire trucks out here though, which is pretty cool. Okay. Tallarico, I guess, made a bunch of comments about the detention centers in Texas for illegal immigrants.
Right.
I can't remember exactly what they were. Yeah, okay. He was bitching about this was in 2019. He was bitching about the conditions that these illegal immigrants were in. That's been put on Trump.
Right.
Trump wasn't president in 2019. That was at the end of Biden's term of office.
No, that's
not Biden. I'm sorry.
It's irrelevant. It's all Trump's fault. Everything's Trump's fault.
Yep. Trump's got to breathe and it's his fault.
Well, check this out. Obama's director of ICE got a medal for the way he handled the border crisis, right?
Right. He did a great job.
Yeah, and the director of ICE under Trump is a Nazi. What's fucking crazy? It's the same guy, Tom Homan. You know, like you said, Brian, it doesn't matter. It's Trump, therefore it's bad.
Yep, exactly.
And have you seen these videos of these guys? They go up and like, oh, so what do they ask people like what their political
man on the street.
These.
They do it all the time.
Yeah, and then they say it's a Trump quote, but they quote Obama or Hillary.
Yeah.
And like, oh, only a Nazi would ever say this. No way anyone else would ever say that. I'm like, well, this was Obama. Here's him saying that. And they're like, well, you know, it's a little different because like, no. You can't say only a Nazi would say that, then say, except for the one guy that you showed me that actually said it, you know?
What's his name? James Klug or something that goes and does that as well.
And Ami Horowitz.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
I watch that James Klug, mate. He's awesome. He gives a really good bloody like opposition conversation to it. And he's not about like bringing people down. He's like saying, "Hey, well, this is actually what's going on," and he gives proof to the fact what he's talking about.
Yeah,
he just doesn't.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen the guys work, and it's interesting you say that because there's this Australian-born. He was a skateboarder who was getting P1 visas to the United States. P1 means recognized top-tier athlete on the planet. Okay. So this guy was pretty good at skateboarding. Anyway, he was doing that. He got 2 of those, and they lasted like 6 years each before he got an actual like permanent green card to stay in the country. Now he's an MMA fighter. But he was on a Tim Pool show the other night, and this guy didn't believe a lot of the shit that Tim was putting out. And Alex Stein, I don't know if you know who he is.
Yeah, he's
like, yeah, He's like, I just don't believe this shit. And he goes, okay, well, what if and he brings up a picture of a giant forklift pulling up the barbed wire in Texas, and then all the illegal immigrants running underneath. And he goes, what if I told you Biden ordered this to happen to allow all these people into the country? He's like, I would say that didn't happen. You're a liar. And he scrolled back up to the headline. Supreme Court says Biden, yada, yada. And he's like, holy shit, I had no idea. This guy had no idea that, okay, maybe technically these guys can't vote. And let's assume they're not voting. The sheer fact that you're pumping them in this country means you're creating extra congressional seats, which means more votes in certain areas.
Yep.
So you pump them into a red area. So now it only takes 5,000 voters to cover an entire district full of illegal aliens. I brought this up right at the beginning of this whole immigration thing. And I'm not saying Brian or you guys told me I was wrong. I'm just saying I made a big deal about this a long time ago. And people are still worried about what was it, 65,000 it's up to now, illegally registered aliens in New Jersey. Because it came out originally, it was like 6,000. No, it turned out 6,000 or something like that were registered. A couple hundred voted. And now the number's up to like 27,000 that are registered. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's actually the new fucking... I'm getting good at this. It's actually the next article here, the New Jersey... And this happened right after Trump came out with his...
He came out with his little, speech that ABC and one other network wouldn't carry.
That's what blew my mind. We're not going to play it for you because it's so dangerous. So we're going to watch it for you and tell you what you should know.
Right.
It's like, you literally just said you're going to make sure I don't hear what he actually said.
Yeah.
You're making sure what I'm getting is hearsay at this point.
Yep.
Does your average ABC or CNN viewer realize that's hearsay?
No, of course not.
Like, that's not even admissible in a court of law.
Nope.
Well, Johnny told me. So why don't we hear it directly from Jimmy? Oh, you don't want to hear what Jimmy said. You better hear what Johnny said instead.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Trump, exactly. He did his big speech. He's like, well, why else? Why would you stop us from looking at it and not sign the SAVE Act unless you're trying to break the rules and do this wrong? Everyone's like, oh, he's full of shit. Then New Jersey's like, see, look at all these illegal immigrants.
They're calling it a software glitch that caused these people to, even though they said they weren't eligible to vote when they got their driver's license because of the motor voter law that everybody thought was the greatest thing since sliced bread, where you could go in and get your driver's license and register to vote at the same time.
It is convenient. It is convenient.
The system did it for you. They got all these people registered to vote that weren't eligible to vote.
Yeah, here's the thing: did you hear any comment from the company that runs the software?
They said it's not their fault. They didn't do it.
They said that's not what happened at all.
Right.
Like someone had to physically click OK every single time.
Yep. Did you hear about the computer glitch that walks into a New Jersey voting booth?
No. What happened to it?
It voted 5,000 times for Democrats.
That's exactly right. What happened?
Yeah. Okay, guys. So we're no longer going to call it voter fraud. We're going to call it a computer glitch. Okay.
Right.
And every time someone says it, we'll have a skull.
And I saw Scott Jenkins. Scott Jenkins was talking to obviously he's CNN, right?
Yeah.
Was talking to some of these folks and like, oh, it was only this many. He goes, what do you consider? Because like, oh, it's not widespread. What do you consider widespread? He's like, no, for real. What do you? And she's like, well, then she starts talking about Trump. He's like, what the fuck does Trump have to do with any of this? Like, what do you consider widespread? She goes, what do you consider widespread? And obviously he brought up the whole, well, you said it first, so I want to know what you mean by that.
Right. And she won't answer.
And she doubled down, wanting to know what he said. He's like, I think one. This is supposed to be a zero tolerance thing, like guns in elementary schools, Oh my God. It's like they got busted, man. They had him by the short and curlies. And they managed to say, yeah, it's not a big deal. And this is something we've brought up before on the show often, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
First, it's not happening, so just shut the fuck up. And then, okay, it's happening, but only a little bit. It's not a big deal. And then, yes, it is happening, and it's a good thing. There should be more of it. It's always how it works.
Sorry, lads, I've got to get back to work, but it's been a pleasure.
Right.
Sorry about computer glitches.
Yeah. You just need to get you a better connection somehow.
Oh, it's not good connection up here where I'm at work, but I'll work on it. I'll definitely work on it.
Oh, man. Be safe.
Later.
Take care of those computer glitches, boys.
Yes. Here we go. Brian, I'm gonna relieve myself and grab a fresh one, but this is about Spanberger, right? Or not? Oh, this is about New Jersey still refusing to turn over their records after they got admitted that they. Okay.
No, Spanberger is Virginia. Oh no, okay, we were one more down. Yeah, no, yeah. Even though the New Jersey governor came out and said, yeah, we've got this software glitch, quote unquote, going on, we're still not going to turn over our voting records to the federal government because there's nothing to see here. And then we got the Department of Homeland Security blaming Governor Spanberger's new sanctuary policies for a toddler killing that just happened here recently in the state of Virginia, where I am currently at in the moment. She's been rescinding Governor Youngkin's orders as fast as she can find them, and which cut a cooperative tie between ICE and Virginia State Police, Fish and Game Wardens, and state correction officials. And so this Mexican national, Raul Genis Ortiz Mortan, four-name suspect here, is accused of sexually assaulting a toddler.
To death.
Yep.
Raped a toddler to death.
And got away with it because ICE can't find him to deport him now.
What? Of all the people See, here's the thing: is the big argument these guys bring up about this deportation thing is he said he's only going to deport the worst of the worst. It's like, yeah, and that's what he's going for, and you're defending them over and over. This man, he's a human trafficker. This man, he's a murderer. This man, he's a rapist.
Right.
Like fucking Tim Walz pardoned, what was it, a murderer, or he murdered a child or something?
Uh-huh.
And he pardoned the guy so that he wouldn't get deported.
Right.
Like, that is the worst. What if raping a kid to death is not the worst of the worst? Brian, please tell me what is.
I have no idea. That's pretty despicable. Even prisoners in prison don't put up with that kind of crap.
And I'm surprised he didn't get killed in prison for that, honestly. Like, for real. He must have been in solitary confinement under protective custody the whole time. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because like you said, even prisoners don't put up with you fucking up kids like this.
No.
A toddler, man? What, you such a fucking pussy? You got to pick on the weakest person you could find?
Yeah.
No, I hope I get a chance to meet this man. And not in a gay way.
Right.
I will rape this man to death. You know, maybe it'll be my Louisville Slugger. Who knows? I mean, at least he's in prison, or was in prison.
No.
How do you get out of prison for raping a toddler to death?
I don't know.
Like, what's the sentence for that? How much time do you serve in prison in Virginia for raping a toddler to death?
He probably has his voting rights back already, too.
I love how you call them voting rights. I love how people say rights as if it's like a thing when they just saying it makes it a thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It makes it a thing, all right.
Oh, it's like, oh, everyone has a right to health care. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Yeah, no, you're right. You are allowed to go get health care. No one's stopping you. The government will not stop you from going to the hospital. You are right. No, it should be given to us by the government. Well, where the fuck are they going to give me my gun? You know?
Uh-huh. Not all right.
Yeah, mine's actually listed versus fucking free Medicaid for all is not listed.
Free Medicaid for all. Oh.
I couldn't find how long he got sentenced to. No big deal. I'm hoping it was at least 20 years, but that sounds like the kind of thing you should die in prison for.
Yep.
Oh. Carl challenges Warner on Virginia ID vote. Oh, another SAVE Act debate. Oh,
it's
Mark
not gonna
Warner.
pass.
No, and you know what? I'm actually getting really pissed off at Trump about this. No, he needs to climb up Thune's ass and get some shit done because he got, what was it, Massey? Primaried out. I think it was Massey, wasn't it? That he got primaried out because he didn't like him anymore.
Yeah.
This guy is like, oh, we don't have the votes. Well, first of all, rally them up, make the votes happen. That's your goddamn job, is what he does. Second of all, the big issue is the parliamentarian, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does he know he's allowed to literally just fire the parliamentarian and put a new one in?
Probably not.
This is, again, then don't take these positions in higher government, these extra jobs, you know what I mean? What is he, the majority?
He's the majority leader.
Yeah, I wanted to say whip for a second. But I was like, that's
the president of the
that's not
Senate.
right.
He's the president of the Senate.
Yeah, I was like, that's not the right one. Yeah, exactly. There you go, president of the Senate. He can literally fire the parliamentarian, which is amazing. Most Americans have no idea what a parliamentarian is, what they do, or who it is.
Right.
Right? It's a DC representative, isn't it? Or it's
parliamentarian is just a title. It's a position. You know, they're the ones that, you know, make the rules in the Senate, basically.
Yeah, and I believe right now it's a DC representative who doesn't get a vote.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's why they're in that position, is to give him some kind of authority. You can just say, no, you're out, and put himself in the position. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And yeah, then Susan Collins, and it's just, And this is what gets me is every Democrat's voting. This is what makes me think Trump doesn't want it done. And the Republicans don't want it done. The Democrats don't want it done. Because was it something like 80% of Americans agree that you should have some form of identification to prove you're a citizen?
Well, you can't get on a plane without ID.
Can't buy beer.
You can't buy beer. Yeah, you have to have ID for that, but you don't need an ID to vote with.
And for you California hippies, you can't buy your pot, man, without an ID.
Nope.
I don't know. Anyone ever been to a dispensary?
Nope, never in my
Yeah,
life.
okay. How many times do they check your ID?
Every time you go in the door.
When I was security in Massachusetts, we checked your ID at the door and we checked your ID at checkout.
Nope, they don't do that in Michigan. Just that door.
It was just to cover the asses of the company. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And we even told people, like, don't put your ID away. They're gonna check it again to make sure that I didn't screw up at the door. And I didn't usually check IDs at the door. I had an actual security job. When they didn't have someone at the door, I would do it. And that was when I found out that the people that were normally working the door had no idea what the identifying marks on a state driver's license was.
That doesn't surprise me.
And this isn't just a Massachusetts ID. Every state has a hologram on their ID.
Yeah, and the barcode that scans works on every state's ID now, too.
Correct. And there's perforations in your driver's license. Hold your driver's license up to the light over your head. There's going to be a perforation in it that the light comes through. You can see a picture. Each state has a different picture. Massachusetts, it's an outline of the state. Alaska is, I think, a snowflake or something dumb. But yeah, Florida, I think California might be a palm tree, or maybe that's North Carolina. But yeah, these folks.
Palm tree, South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina. I'm sorry. Okay, see, look at that. See, these folks had no idea. I'm like, you're supposed to. I was like, you had to sit through a fucking video and sign off that you knew all this shit.
Right.
And this is why I made a big deal to the management. I was like, these guys have no idea. Like they sat down, the video played, and they played on their phone.
Uh-huh.
They just looked at the birth date knowing, and they had the thing in front of them, like, if you were born after today's date, or after, such date, you're ineligible,
Right.
And they were just checking dates. I'm like, fuck, man, you guys have no idea what an ID is. All right. Did you see the Smithsonian get called
I did.
Oh my God.
I heard this on one of the podcasts I listened to, She refused to even say anything about how the DEI toolkit, why does the Smithsonian even have that?
Well, here's what's funny is she specifically asked if being polite. She's the director of the Smithsonian too, by the way.
Yeah.
Not just a random employee.
Because they're calling being polite a racist.
It's white supremacist to be polite. And that's the great. They asked her, like, is being polite.
Why are you being so polite to us? Are you racist? Are you white?
Yeah, are you a white supremacist? And she's like, well, what are you talking about? It's like, this is what you guys have like published.
Yeah, it's in
your stuff.
Oh, I don't know anything about that. I don't know.
Yeah, you're the director. Like, you should lose your job if you don't realize that they're calling being polite white. And you know what? That's what gets me, because that woman just got busted and convicted for dropping the N-bomb. You saw that?
No, I missed that one.
Oh, we talked about it when it happened.
Okay.
Shiloh Hendricks or whatever. Apparently, some kid stole some autistic 2-year-old stole applesauce from her, and she turned around and called the kid the N-bomb. Allegedly. A concerned bystander, a lot of people saying the kid's father, it was not. It was a concerned bystander, turned on his phone and said, "Did you just call that kid up?" And she goes, "Oh, fuck you." He goes, say it again. She goes, "Okay." And she called him one and turned around and walked away. She got hit. She got convicted of, what is it? Basically being a public nuisance. What is it? Disorderly conduct.
Okay.
For basically getting in this guy's face. Meanwhile, the video shows him running up on her, getting in her face, her calling him a bad name and walking away.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. Calling children and random people the N-bomb is not cool.
No.
But it's not against the law. it's not against the law. But she got something like $1,000 fine and 202. I know it's 200 hours community service because I sat down for a minute and did the math in my head. And I was like, that's literally more than a year's worth of going to work 8 hours a day,
Right.
40-hour weeks. I'm sorry, it was almost a year, something. I don't remember. I did the math in my head. I was like, holy crap. Like I think that's what I realized, but it would take you a year of weekends at 8 hours, 2 years of weekends to do this community service. But she raised something like $800,000 in GoFundMe because people are sick and tired. There's, you know what I mean? It's like, no matter what I say, I'm racist anyway, so I may as well just say the racist thing. Which I don't agree with because it may not be okay to punch me in the mouth for being rude, but it doesn't mean it ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? But again, like we were saying, apparently if you're not a giant fucking asshole to anyone, not just these people, you people, if you're polite, that's white supremacy.
Yeah.
So she had to be rude, or else she'd be a white supremacist, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, this is being appealed. And what got me was she was convicted of disorderly conduct for calling this one man the N-bomb, but not the kid. Could it be because that was the only thing on video? Meanwhile, Sonny Austin from The View is saying the only reason why they had this woman in front of the Smithsonian was because they didn't want to pay reparations. Trump doesn't want to pay reparations. I was like, what? What does that have to do with politeness being white supremacy? You know? And Sonny's demanding her cut of the reparations.
Of course.
She's already come out and admitted because she's like, oh, I always thought I was Puerto Rican. It's like, yes, why do you think Puerto Ricans speak Spanish? Right? She's like, I didn't think I was Spanish. She's like, I didn't know my family were conquistadors and owned and traded slaves. If she wants,
that's what the Spanish did.
And she wants reparations for being black. It's like, first of all, bitch, you're fucking Hispanic, not black, okay? Second of all, you'd be the one paying the reparations. You had the slaves.
She identifies as black.
So don't I. I thought I wasn't allowed to do that. Didn't seem to bother Elizabeth Warren much for claiming to be native, though.
Nope.
And you see Austin's kid got picked up for trespassing?
Yeah.
He was like walking down the active train tracks on private property.
But he's Harvard graduate.
But he's a Harvard graduate and a Yale whatever and
But he called his mommy, who tried to say she was a federal prosecutor. She was lying to the cops.
Oh, she said former federal prosecutor.
Well, eventually, originally on the phone call, she said, "I'm a federal tell them I'm a federal prosecutor."
In person. And it's like, okay, so then you understand that trespassing is against the law. And here's the thing is they tried to get this guy to not arrest him. Like, seriously, just get off the train tracks. Like, trains come down here, you got headphones on the train tracks, and everyone's like, oh, I hear the train coming. No, you won't. Do people understand how fast these things move? Like cargo trains, not passenger trains, move at hundreds of miles an hour.
Yeah.
But oh my God. I'll just put my headphones on and walk down the train tracks. Are you fucking kidding me? They tried to save this fucking idiot's life.
And then he wasn't being arrested. He was just given a citation to show up to court. So
yeah, which honestly is probably going to get dismissed as soon as he shows up.
Yeah, because he's Sonny Austin's kid.
Because all he said was I was being stupid. I wasn't paying enough attention. That would be enough, honestly.
Or he'll show up with a lawyer, and the lawyer will get it knocked down to some community service time type deal.
But yeah, it just blew my mind. She tried to use her poll as a former federal prosecutor like that. Like, this is what we call nepotism.
No poll there. You got no pull as a former federal prosecutor.
No, exactly. Well, no, I can make phone calls. Like, are you threatening that if I enforce the law, that something's going to happen to me? And I will say, though, she was polite for everything I heard.
Yeah.
But she tried to oh, come on, just let him go. He teaches 4th grade English or whatever.
Right.
He's a Harvard grad, does something at Yale, yada yada. I was like, yeah, and what about everyone else who says the same fucking thing? And you say put him in prison, fucking white cracker, you know? I found this interesting, Brian, about Lockheed Martin.
Yeah.
They're not waiting for the Pentagon to say, hey, we need to fix this problem anymore. They're gonna do it on their own and then see if the government wants to buy it.
Okay.
Seems interesting to me. Like it could be very, very expensive.
Right.
I mean, like how
But
many
it's good for business for them, because they're being proactive on fixing their shit, So it'd probably make their quality go up in the long run. And the
if that's what you're talking
reputation.
about, okay. If what you're saying is this isn't working right, we need to adjust that versus we need a new weapon.
Right.
Okay. Because I was thinking if they design a new fucking fighter jets. And I was like, this just sounds expensive. You know what I mean? But yeah, I thought this was, and that might be the problem we have with government contracts is nobody does what Lockheed's doing now for the federal government because you already have a contract versus someone who wants to sell me something is going to make the better one tomorrow if they can because I might not have liked this one enough, you know?
Basically, yeah, because they're coming out with a new Lockheed's coming out with a new counter drone system.
Well, that's a big deal because
And
drones
they're
is the
going
new
through
warfare.
they went through the whole testing phase in less than 45 days by not going through the Pentagon's rules and rigmaroles.
Are they allowed to do this?
I don't know why they wouldn't be able to. I mean,
I don't know. Maybe they only get permission to like set up ordinance with the federal
well,
government's
they've also
permission.
expanded missile production capacity ahead of contracted demand. They've invested in
That's
new
a good idea.
factories and automation, robotics. This because they did all this, they were able to secure a new 7-year, $35 billion contract to quadruple production of THAAD missile interceptors, along with several other major awards announced this quarter.
Thad, that's the one that's you could drive up on a truck and it's like 16 missiles that like the silo or whatever, the battery
Yeah.
folds up and fires.
Mm-hmm.
That's some terrifying technology. You could just bring dozens of missiles where you want them to fire them off, right?
Right.
Finally, something we've brought up on the show several times. I know I have at least. I'm pretty sure you've at least agreed with me about why the fuck is the United States lining up their aircraft carriers again?
Oh no, this isn't about that. This is putting in another dry dock on the West Coast. They want to have they're basically rebuilding the Bremerton dry dock so it can accommodate the Ford class carriers so that maintenance can be the ships don't necessarily have to come all around the world to get work done in Newport News. That
All
more
right, I thought
work
this
can
was
be
about
done.
dock. I thought this was about more docks in general, just to be able to moor these ships.
No, I read the article. It was about they're gonna put no, they're building a new dock. Okay, it is a dock at Puget Sound Naval Shipyard,
Yeah.
which is Bremerton, and it's part of the Navy Shipyard Infrastructure Organizational Program, which is going to modernize the 4 services long neglected shipyards: Portsmouth, Virginia; Pearl Harbor, Hawaii; Kittery, Maine; and Puget Sound.
Kittery.
Yeah, there's a shipyard in Kittery.
I know there is. That's been out of use for a long time.
Well, the Navy's putting money into it.
Good. Well, no, like you said, why have one dry dock that can fit these ships in them to do the work on the entire fucking planet? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That means everyone has to wait in line. Versus we could be doing, according to the numbers you just put out, at least it's what 4 we'll have 4 places we could do repairs to these ships and upgrades
Well,
at the
5
same time.
because you
5, okay.
include Newport News. But yeah, basically right now there is no place on the West Coast in Pacific Northwest they can handle any kind of depot level maintenance on a Gerald Ford class carrier.
And how many of those are there? 2, 3 now?
We're
2?
working on 2.
Oh, 4 Nixon, right?
Gerald R. Ford.
Yeah, but wasn't the Nixon also
Nimitz.
okay? What? So maybe it was the Ford.
Ford is
I want to.
the first of the carriers, and I think the JFK is being built, Enterprise is being built, but I don't think either one of those are actually commissioned yet.
Okay, so I was at the commissioning of the Ford then in Newport News. By the way, that takes way longer than you would realize, man. Way too many fucking people spoke for way too many hours, and they said nothing. You know. Zelensky's been firing a lot of his staff.
Yeah, right
involved in the
now
war.
we got the Ford is in commission and operational. Kennedy will be out in 2027. Enterprise is under construction. USS Doris Miller is under construction, and additional ships 82 and 83 are planned.
Who's Doris Miller?
She was a woman that did something in the Navy.
And I'm surprised that we have Ford and Kennedy. And the George Washington. I don't know. I thought that carriers weren't named after presidents. Like for the most part,
Doris Miller was a U.S. Navy sailor and one of the most celebrated American heroes of World War II. His namesake. On December 7th, during the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, Miller was serving aboard the battleship USS
was he the cook?
Virginia. Yes. Mess
No
attendant
kidding.
second class. At the time, black sailors were largely restricted to serving in steward and mess attendant roles because of racial segregation.
Yeah,
He
the
helped
Cuba Gooding
wounded
Jr.
sailors to get to safety. He even helped a mortally wounded captain. He had no formal training, but he hopped on the anti-aircraft guns.
Yeah, I was saying, instead of operating the anti-aircraft guns alone.
He was the first African American to receive the Navy Cross.
Oh shit! Not even Medal of Honor. You got a Navy Cross.
Yep. So I think he's deserving of a carrier.
No, absolutely. And Navy Cross does that carry the same privileges as Medal of Honor?
It's the second highest award for valor,
right behind Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So does the president salute you for a Navy Cross?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know, because I know Medal of Honor, everyone salutes you, right?
Yeah, he was killed during World War II. He didn't survive the war.
Yeah, no, that's a real American hero.
Yep.
This man deserves a ship named after him, and you know what? Let's name a fucking base after this man too. How's that?
Sounds good.
I want to grab another beer, but we're almost done. Oh yeah, okay. What's going on with Ukraine and Russia?
I don't know.
I know, right? I keep hearing Ukraine's winning, but I'm never hearing about Ukraine pushing forward.
They're not winning.
You know what I mean? But apparently Zelensky just like put a new war commander in charge, or whatever they call him. Fired him days later. This isn't the first time he's done this with his military staff.
Right.
I'm not sure what we're supposed to do about Ukraine, honestly, dude.
I don't know. We got ourselves in Ukraine and Iran, so we got problems.
That's the thing is Russia made a big deal for so long that Ukraine literally means borderlands. That's why it was called the Ukraine for so long until basically the war started, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the United States of America. It was supposed to be that this is a buffer between Russia and NATO.
Right.
And Russia moving in there didn't violate NATO, but that violated the idea that Ukraine was supposed to be a gap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And granted, he's not closing the whole gap, but for real, how come Russia hasn't just marched through and taken what they wanted yet?
Because they can't.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe they're
Like,
not as strong as everybody thinks they are.
Are they are they a true paper dragon?
What it seems like.
I mean, come on, dude. You, me, and like 50 of our buddies with freaking automatic rifles could take over Ukraine in like the weekend. Let's be real. And how many Ukrainians fled the nation when this started?
A lot.
Yeah. I mean, and I understand some of these younger women getting out, but like you fighting age men take off. Dude, what do we want you here for if you won't fight for your own country? You're certainly not going to go to war for us, right?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, and a Kurdish party is accusing Iran of using white phosphorus rounds in warfare.
Sounds very bad.
Yeah. I don't know how else to put it besides holy shit bad. Phosphorus, they call it white phosphorus because it ignites easier than normal phosphorus, but it burns so hard it burns white. It'll melt through a fucking tank. It'll melt through an engine block. That's what the idea of it was to start with. It was to wipe out like tank fleets with artillery and just rain down molten hot metal on them. The Kurds are accusing the Iranis of dumping this ordnance on the people, like on people, not equipment.
Yeah.
Which is considered a war crime.
Uh-huh.
Now, I think the term war crime is ridiculous. I mean, let's be real. You're killing people. Yeah, isn't it all a crime?
Yeah.
But if Mamdani wants to arrest people for war crimes, how about the guy fucking dumping 7,000 degree liquid metal on people?
Right.
Like that shit gets on your arm, it's going to melt through your arm, it's going to cut your arm off, and it's going to cauterize the wound as it does it. You're not even going to bleed.
Right.
Holy crap, dude. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I don't think so.
All right, man. Got out of here in almost exactly 2 hours.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. I have to trim down what I put into the dock after we